So Shan, so what do you think? So what if there was a
Isaiah
universal
said you
amount?
might.
What if there was a universal amount based upon the
It can't
city?
be because there are
It,
so many. So you can't compare a person who's unemployed to a person who's employed. Like it wouldn't even be fair.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if there's a universal amount, right? Just like, if you make this amount of money, this is how much the taxes are,
I
right?
think certain states do cap it. I
He
think
has a
Texas
cap,
is yeah, I think Texas is one of the ones. No matter how much money you make, it's capped at a certain amount. I
but that's
can't
not a
remember what it's
universal. That's just a cap. Because cap
right.
can mean 15,000.
No,
Yeah.
but no, I think based on percentage, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah,
let's
it's,
say
it's a
if it's
percentage.
like 15% or something like that. So no
That's a
matter how
lot.
much you make, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know the exact number. Then it's 15%. So 15% of 2 million is going to look totally different than 15% of 40,000.
That's what
But
they
it's
do.
still
That's what they
right.
do, Sarah.
That's what I no, that's my point. That's what I was gonna say. So regardless of how much it is, they're gonna base it off of the income. You're saying is there a universal number? The universal number can be a percentage, but that percentage is gonna look different in the amount that you get based on your income.
Yeah, but I would argue that even if it wasn't based upon a percentage, it was just like a blanket number, right? Just like the stimulus bill was like 1,000, right? Say for instance, if a person is unemployed and cannot pay that, right? Then you make the conversation like, okay, well, this is a person that has a child but can't pay for the child. Okay. So does it make sense to put this person on child support? Should this person be the one housing the child and the other person pay child support? I think it'd just
I
be a
think
very
that I
interesting
personally,
conversation.
I also believe that if you are doing your equal part and you're having that kid weekly, you should. I stand by what I said last week when my baby's calm. I stand by what I said last
You
week.
said
If
two
you are,
days.
if at least 2 days a week, if you are watching, if you have your kid at least 2 days a week, you should not be on child support.
Well, honestly, child support shouldn't exist if we just take care of our responsibilies.
Well,
Well,
of
people
course,
that's
don't.
a
we know
fact.
That's
people
why it
don't do that.
exists.
I mean,
I
most
know, but
of
I'm
them
just
shouldn't
saying it
exist
should not
because people ain't
exist.
gonna do right.
you
People
know,
ain't gonna do right.
you know.
So yeah, you're right. I agree. And again, I feel like if you're taking care of your kid, if you have your child, physical custody of your child, I mean physical, you take your kid, you should not even be on child support.
I like
Or
that.
I
she could
think
just give him full custody.
if it's 50-50, if we share an equal amount of time, I agree with that. I don't think child support should even be in the picture. But if we have a primary parent where that parent is like you saying just 2 days out of the week, I'm sorry, I can't go for that. Like
The reason why I say 2 days out the week, because let's be realistic. If y'all live in different zones and the kid goes to school to a certain zone, as long as you're getting your kid those 2 weeks, like maybe you got the weekend just because of school, but then summer come and we can swap this thing out. Like it means that's what I mean by that. If you're seeing your kid weekly for a few days out of the week, I don't think that there should be child support.
mm,
I can
That's
dig that. I
mm.
can really dig that. Like that's dope to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he got to,
give me my weekends.
So you can go, Marcus. I'll go after
I'll
you.
say if he got to pay $20K a month in order to maintain that lifestyle, he should just get full custody and she can come by whenever she wants.
Why
The
do we
kid
have
just
listen? Okay, let's stop this. Okay, just because you have the breadwinner does not mean you're the better parent.
That's true.
I
because you're
mean, just
not the
because
breadwinner don't
he
mean you're
got
the better
he
You're
got
the
parent.
bread
bread.
doesn't change the
Just
fact he take care of that child.
because you're
Well,
the breadwinner does not mean you're the better parent. Sometimes
and
the
Hey,
just because you're the
breadwinner,
mom, that doesn't
listen,
mean you're the better
some
parent. I
I
mean,
I
that's a
agree with
two-way
agree.
that too.
street.
But the breadwinner could be the woman. I didn't say man or woman. I said just because you're the breadwinner, whether you're the woman or the man, does not mean you're the better parent. It is not. Sometimes the breadwinner is working all the time. They don't have the time to be the parent. So let's take money out of whether the female who makes the most money or the man who makes. Because if there are women who pay child support as well, does not mean you are necessarily the best parent.
The issue wasn't who was paying and who's a better parent. The issue was an absorbent amount that's more than the child can necessarily need per month in order to take care of them, which turns into a lifestyle payment. And male or female, if somebody requires a lifestyle payment to keep the child, just come visit them. Because
but
stop
mistake
the
is
baby
just
for money hustle. Because that's what it kind of sounds like.
mistake. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Marcus. I apologize for being rude.
It's people who do the money for child hustle. They try and get a baby by Breadwinner or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just so they could try and get a bag from somebody. And I know you'd be like, these are the rare. We talking about a rare case, right? It's not too many people paying $20K a month. So if that's the case, and you really just concerned about the welfare of the child, and they just give them to the father. I'm sure he'll arrange. He might even buy you another house. You could leave and go do whatever you want to do. But it just is a way for you to extract resources from a family. But my general thing is everybody just stay together. Stop breaking up.
Mark, you said something right there. I agree. Everybody stay together. But let me just make it very, very clear, because I think Tyrese lives in Atlanta. Does he not? Does he live in Atlanta?
I think so.
And he does. One thing about Atlanta is, if you see most celebrities who ask for their kids do get their kids. Usher asked for his kids, got his kid. Ludacris 50% got his kid. So this is one of those cities where when men ask for their kids, they get them. But like Mistaken said last week, a lot of times in these divorce proceedings, they sit there and they agree that they want that kid to go with the mom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he has a right to ask for his kid. In these custody battles, he's not asking for his kid, but what he's asking for is not to pay all that child support.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Shannon, quick question. What if, do you think this is a plausible scenario?
Mm-hmm.
If the person that's making all of this money so that child support has to be $20K a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be opposed if the person who's making the $20K payment asked to have custody, right?
Okay.
And say, for instance, they dedicate $5,000 a month to basically for daycare, for food, for clothing. Do you think that is a reasonable ask or suggestion for somebody to see if they can make a request for that kind of situation?
Yes, because that is what Ludacris, if you look at his situation, he has a child by a woman outside of his marriage. He asked for, I think it was 50-50 custody. They couldn't do that. So he's only paying like $1,700 a month, but he has that kid almost half the month. You know what I'm saying? So he makes up for it by having the kid physically in his household. So when you have the child, just like Usher, when you have the child, you can go down on it. That is a reasonable situation because they are actually taking care of their kids. Now, if you're out here saying, I don't want to pay child support and you don't have your kid like that,